You should be spending every moment of your normal time in the gym working around the basket. Now, remember, Angel Reese has said to us that people are not just watching basketball for one player, they're watching because of me too. So if she puts out footage of her working out, well, yeah, we are going to be watching.
Easy.
The biggest advice I have for you is going to be how you shoot your layups.
In the defensive end, bringing the ball up the floor, power dribble, Angel Reese. Missed the layup, heaved it back up, hoped to draw a foul, did not.
Angel Reese has always been a lightning rod for attention. Whether it's her on-court swagger, her confident interviews, or her presence on social media, she knows how to command the spotlight. But sometimes, that spotlight exposes more than you intended. In her latest attempt to show the world she's grinding in the gym, Angel posted a short clip, just 9 seconds long, but it wasn't the flex she thought it was.
People say, like, Angel, like, how come you don't post basketball stuff? Like, do you know that,
you
like...
You do, though. Like, the other day, last night you tweeted something when you were defending Travis and his girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And somebody, like, tweeted back something so snarky and rude and was like, oh, like, something about you not training. And I was like, bro, like, go look at her Instagram story. 5 hours ago, she posted in the gym. Like, what more do you want?
How come I have to post on the gym? What about all the other 143 women that are in the WNBA that don't post there in the gym? I think it's just because I literally live a double life.
It's because you post so much about all the other stuff we have going on, but at the end of the day, like,
but that's
we have a big shoot this week. And Angel literally called me and was like, what time is my call time? I'm booking a workout. And she's going to wake up at 5 a.m.
5 a.m.
5 a.m. to work out before. So, like, we know where your priorities are at. Obviously, when you're on the court, like, it shows where your priorities are at because people didn't think you were going to be able to be as dominant as you were in the WNBA. And look what you did this season.
Year 2 is up.
Yeah. And so, and exactly. And you were a rookie. And so it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's engagement. So,
and what they say.
It's engagement.
Hating pays too.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, it might have backfired completely. The video, hastily edited and chaotic in its presentation, felt more like a TikTok audition than a professional training session. There was no structure, no clear drills, no focused intensity, just a series of awkward footwork and limp jump shots that made viewers raise their eyebrows and ask, "That's it?" It seemed less like a training highlight and more like a rushed attempt to stay relevant online. And while Angel Reese was busy trying to go viral with 9 seconds of gym chaos, the Indiana Fever were putting in real work behind the scenes. Quietly, deliberately, and with purpose. Caitlin Clark, along with rookies Michaela Timpson, Bree Hall, and Yvonne Ejim, took to the court and let the footage speak for itself. No flashy edits, no desperate captions, just basketball. Within 48 hours of being drafted, this rookie class was already putting together full-court scrimmages, executing clean pick-and-rolls, and displaying on-point communication. Caitlin Clark, known for her elite shooting and game management, didn't miss a beat. She directed plays, dropped dimes, and hit shots with the same surgical precision she was known for in college. The footage wasn't just impressive, it was a statement. And the comparison with Angel's clip? Brutal. One clip was built for clicks. The other was built for banners. Caitlin didn't need to say a word. Her passes threaded through tight windows, her shooting form looked as sharp as ever, and her chemistry with the team was immediate. Meanwhile, Angel's clip was met with criticism, not because people dislike her, but because the gap in quality was impossible to ignore. When you put a photo op workout next to a professional training session, the difference is jarring. Angel's form looked off. Her balance was shaky. Her shooting mechanics were flawed in ways that any seasoned coach would notice in seconds. Her offhand drifted across her face, her elbow flared out unnaturally, and her wrist snapped inward. It didn't look like someone getting ready to take over in the WNBA. It looked like someone trying to hold on to the hype from college. And perhaps the most damning part wasn't the footage itself, but the reaction from her trainer. Instead of correcting her form or offering constructive feedback, he cheered her on with hollow praise. Every shot, no matter how flawed, got a tough or a "let's go." That might feel good in the moment, but it doesn't build champions. Real development comes from accountability. And in Angel's case, it looked like nobody was holding her to that standard. Compare that to the Fever's practice environment, where everything had a purpose. Every rep, every drill, every minute of practice was intentional. Caitlin Clark wasn't the only one shining. Michaela Timpson was catching lobs with ease, showing athleticism and timing that made her look like a seasoned vet. Bree Hall was knocking down mid-range jumpers and playing with poise. Ivani Jeem was finishing strong at the rim and working hard on both ends of the floor. There was no spotlight hunting here, just players locked in, building chemistry, and preparing for battle. The camera didn't follow them for highlights. It just captured what real preparation looks like. A team grinding behind the scenes, laser focused on what really matters: winning. Angel's workout, in contrast, looked like a performance for social media. A few lazy jump shots, clunky footwork, and no coach in sight. Just a trainer nodding along, giving empty encouragement. And while she might have thought that was enough to prove she's working hard, the fans weren't buying it. Critics pointed out the glaring flaws in her technique. From her offhand positioning to her follow-through, everything about her shot looked unrefined. And the fact that no one around her was correcting it raised serious questions. At the WNBA level, those details matter. They're the difference between staying on the court or riding the bench, between being a star or a social media celebrity. Meanwhile, Caitlin's fundamentals were crisp. Her jump shot looked automatic. Her movement was instinctive. There were no wasted motions, no forced theatrics, just years of hard work paying off in every dribble, every pass, every shot. It was the kind of training that doesn't need filters or fancy transitions, because when your game speaks that loudly, you don't have to. This contrast was no longer subtle, it was a spotlight, and fans saw it clearly. While Angel was filming TikTok clips, Caitlin was building the foundation for a championship run. While Angel's trainer was offering applause, Indiana's coaching staff was drilling discipline. While Angel was chasing viral moments, Caitlin was preparing to dominate a league. And that's the part that really stings, because it's not just about basketball, it's about perception. And in the court of public opinion, Angel's clip didn't just fall flat. It got roasted. People joked that she laid enough bricks to build her own house, that her form was so off even junior high coaches would cringe. Harsh? Maybe, but that's the price of putting yourself out there without being ready. Angel made a bold claim recently, saying that people watch women's basketball because of her too, not just Caitlin Clark. And while there's truth to that, the reality is that when you make that statement, you have to back it up, especially when you post workout footage for the world to see, because every frame becomes an audition. And in this case, the audience wasn't impressed. The Fever rookies, led by Caitlin Clark, weren't just showing off, they were showing up, putting in the time, absorbing coaching, running systems, and improving with every practice. Michaela Timpson was being mentored by Aaliyah Boston, and she wasn't just nodding, she was applying the advice immediately. She wasn't just running drills, she was running the floor with real intent. In every frame of Indiana's footage, you could see the growth, the hunger, the attention to detail. There were no gimmicks, no filters, just pure basketball. And that's what separates players who trend online from players who trend upward in the league. Angel might rack up likes now, but when the season starts and every possession counts, those likes won't save her. And if her mechanics aren't corrected soon, the gap between her and players like Caitlin will only grow wider. You can't fake fundamentals. And in the WNBA, bad form isn't just a flaw, it's a liability. There was a moment in Angel's clip that perfectly captured the problem. After taking a clunky jumper, her trainer shouted "tough," like it was the greatest shot he'd ever seen. But anyone who knows basketball could see the issues. The lack of arc, the poor balance, the awkward release. Praise like that doesn't build greatness, it builds delusion. At Indiana's practice, you saw the opposite. No one was cheering for mid-effort plays. They were locked in. Coaches were correcting, players were responding, and everything felt like it was building towards something real. Caitlin Clark wasn't being hyped, she was being held to a high standard, and that standard is going to matter once the season begins. Angel's form has become a meme. Her off-arm crosses her face, her balance is off, her footwork is inconsistent, and no one seems to be fixing it. Instead of tightening her game, she's doubling down on aesthetics. But in pro sports, aesthetics don't win games. Precision does. At the WNBA level, weaknesses don't stay hidden for long. They get exploited. Coaches will target those flaws, defenders will press those weaknesses. And if Angel doesn't address the basics soon, she's in for a rude awakening. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is on a different trajectory. She's not just preparing for the league, she's preparing to lead. Her game speaks for itself. Her teammates respect her, her coaches trust her, and her fundamentals? Rock solid. By the time the real season kicks off, the noise will fade, the filters will fall away, and all that'll matter is who put in the work. The ones who built their game from the ground up. The ones who stayed when the cameras stopped rolling. The ones who were about buckets, not buzz. That's why Caitlin Clark isn't worried about going viral. She's worried about winning. And that's why Indiana Fever fans aren't laughing with Angel Reese. They're laughing at the difference. Because it's not just a workout fail. It's a wake-up call. And Caitlin Clark just delivered it, loud and clear.